5 psychological facts about procrastination. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through your phone, knowing you have work to do, but you just can't start? You're not lazy. You're not alone. Procrastination is a psychological puzzle, and the reasons behind it are weirder than you think. In this video, we'll reveal 5 surprising psychological facts about why we procrastinate and how your brain is secretly working against you. Stick around for the last one. It's a brain glitch that even top performers struggle with. Picture this. You sit down to write an email, but suddenly you're cleaning your desk, checking the fridge, or watching cat videos. Sound familiar? Let's break down what's really happening in your mind. What is procrastination, really? Before we dive into the facts, let's get one thing straight. Procrastination isn't just about being lazy or disorganized. It's a complex psychological behavior that affects everyone, from students to CEOs. In fact, research shows that up to 95% of people admit to procrastinating at least sometimes. So if you're a chronic procrastinator, you're in good company. Fact 1. Procrastination isn't about laziness, it's about emotion. Most people think procrastination is just being lazy, but psychologists say it's actually an emotional issue. When you put off a task, it's usually because it triggers stress, anxiety, or self-doubt. A study from the University of Sheffield found that procrastinators aren't avoiding work. They're avoiding feeling bad. Your brain is wired to dodge discomfort, so it distracts you with something easier or more fun. What's your go-to distraction when you're avoiding something? Drop it in the comments. Here is an analogy. Imagine you have a big project due. Every time you think about starting, you feel a wave of anxiety. Instead of facing it, you check your phone, scroll through social media, or clean your room. It's not about laziness. It's about escaping that uncomfortable feeling. What's the weirdest thing you've done to avoid a task? Share your story in the comments. Fact 2. The instant gratification monkey. Inside your brain, there's a battle between your logical self and your instant gratification monkey. This term, made famous by Tim Urban, describes the part of your mind that wants pleasure now, not later. That's why you'll binge watch a show instead of starting a project due next week. The prefrontal cortex, which handles planning and self-control, is often overpowered by the limbic system, which craves rewards. Let's say you plan to study for an exam, but as soon as you sit down, your brain whispers, just one episode. Suddenly, it's midnight and you haven't started. This isn't a lack of willpower. It's your brain's reward system hijacking your plans. Neuroscientists have found that dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, spikes when you anticipate a reward. That's why distractions feel so tempting. Fact 3. The deadline effect. Ever notice how you suddenly become super productive right before deadline? That's called the deadline effect. A study in the journal Psychological Science found that as a deadline approaches, your brain releases adrenaline and narrows your focus. This stress response can actually boost performance, but it also means you're relying on panic, not planning. Think about the last time you pulled an all-nighter. You probably got more done in a few hours than you did in the entire week before. But here's the catch. Working under pressure can lead to mistakes, burnout, and even health problems. Do you work better under pressure? Or does it just stress you out? Let us know below. Researchers at MIT found that people who set their own deadlines tend to procrastinate less than those with externally imposed deadlines. Try breaking big projects into smaller, self-imposed deadlines. Fact 4. Perfectionism fuels procrastination. Here's a weird twist. Perfectionists are often the biggest procrastinators. Why? Because the fear of not doing something perfectly can be so overwhelming. It's easier to avoid starting at all. Dr. Piers Steel, author of The Procrastination Equation, found that people with high standards often delay tasks to escape the anxiety of falling short. So, if you're waiting for the perfect moment to begin, you might never start. Maybe you want to write a novel, but you keep rewriting the first page. Or you want to start a YouTube channel, but you're waiting for the perfect camera, the perfect script, and the perfect day. Perfectionism can paralyze you. Are you a perfectionist procrastinator? Type guilty in the comments if this is you. Studies show that self-compassion, being kind to yourself when you make mistakes, can help break the perfectionism procrastination cycle. Fact 5. Procrastination is a habit, but it can be rewired. The more you procrastinate, the more your brain gets used to it. Procrastination becomes a habit loop. You feel discomfort. You avoid the task. You get temporary relief. Your brain rewards the avoidance. But here's the good news. Habits can be changed. Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, says the key is to replace the avoidance with a small, positive action. Start with just 2 minutes of the task. Often, that's enough to break the cycle. Next time you're stuck, set a timer for 2 minutes and just start. You'll be surprised how often you keep going. What's one small step you can take right now? Comment below. So, how can you outsmart your own brain? Break big tasks into tiny steps. Use a timer. Work for just 5 minutes. Remove distractions from your workspace. Reward yourself for progress, not perfection. Forgive yourself for slipping up. Self-criticism just makes it worse. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a brain glitch that everyone deals with. If you just learned something new, imagine what's coming in our next video. Join over 100K other curious minds. Hit subscribe and let's explore the science of being human together. Which fact surprised you most? Drop your favorite number in the comments and share this with a friend who always says, "I'll do it later."